This was the worst week of the season. We kind of knew it coming in when we had everybody in our live streams asking us, okay, are we going to go through play Rachaad White, Travis Homer? They're my only running backs left. We got 6 teams on bye. We have injuries. We have guys just not showing up. T. Higgins just completely disappearing. Nick Chubb disappearing. We're getting smoked out there with our player props. Horrendous week, top to bottom. I'm going to go through and recap everything that happened. Hopefully you had a much better week, and I'm really hoping that you are not one of those sickos that started your fantasy football playoffs in week 14. Please tell me you did not. But before we get into anything, go down there. Find out a way that you can hit that like button. I mean, oh dear God, subscribe to the channel if you play fantasy football. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And in that comment section, you can find a link to Underdog Fantasy, where you can check out all these cool player props. When you sign up for Underdog, they're going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 with promo code FLOCK. So it's essentially free to check out. Available in damn near every state. My favorite player prop for the Monday night game is we're actually going to go James Conner plus 31.5 total yards versus Ramondre. Obviously, you'd rather have Ramondre Stevenson straight up, but if we're going to get an extra 31.5 yards, we're probably taking Conner there. But I think that should be it. You can find that link in the description, in the comment section. Available in every state, or pretty much close to it. But let's go through and let's dive into our first situation. First thing we got wrong this week, and a long list of things we got wrong. Looks like DeAndre Swift's not back. Looks like DeAndre Swift is not that guy. Looks like DeAndre Swift is right back to someone we couldn't trust. I thought his player prop at 63.5 total yards was a smash to the over. With DeAndre Swift, I thought he was a top 10 running back this week in a full PPR format. This week, he plays 25 snaps. Compared to Jamal Williams at 26, compared to Justin Jackson at 20, they turn this into a 3-man running back by committee. You have Jamal Williams with 16 carries compared to DeAndre Swift at 6. You have Jamal Williams going out there, coming away with only 1 target. Justin Jackson comes away with 1. DeAndre Swift with 4, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day if Swift's getting 4 targets. It's a 3-man running back by committee. Looks like Swift, you can't start him. He's a low-end RB2 if you do. And if we were going to be looking at DJ Chark, we were wrong with this as well. I thought Jameson Williams was going to expand his role this week. I thought Jameson Williams had all the talent in the world. Week 1, you only play him 8 snaps. Makes sense. It's his first week in the NFL. I thought they were going to ramp him up this week against the Minnesota Vikings. And nope, doesn't really happen. Jameson Williams comes away with the long receiving touchdown at the beginning of the game. Like, you should have been very excited about that. But they decide to play him 13 snaps. DJ Chark gets to play 60. Chark comes out here and crushes after we told multiple people to bench him. I'm sorry if I'm going to sound like a pissy boy all video long, but this was just brutal. Now, going over to the Minnesota Vikings side of things, here's something we can expect. Yeah, Justin Jefferson's very good. Justin Jefferson, 15 targets, 11 receptions, 223 receiving yards. I don't think we need to talk about this. I know Jefferson's good. You know Jefferson's good. There's nothing else to change. We had him as the wide receiver 1 this week. But going over to Baltimore, something that was very exciting for some best ball teams, J.K. Dobbins is back. J.K. Dobbins is the starting running back. I thought he wasn't going to be an exciting play this week, similar to Jameson Williams. We wanted to see him actually come back, have that role before we decided to put him in our starting lineup. He confirmed we can start him. J.K. Dobbins confirmed he's most likely going to be that running back 2 rest of season. Dobbins, 15 carries, 120 rushing yards, and the rushing touchdown. Dobbins, nothing as a pass catcher. I am hesitant to say Dobbins like a running back 1 rest of season, though, because still looks like they're somewhat using this as a 3-man committee. You have Dobbins, 28 snaps compared to Gus Edwards at 21. Kenyon Drake at 9. I think they actually work J.K. Dobbins a little bit more this next week. He's easily the best running back. But if you have no Lamar Jackson, no Tyler Huntley, if we are on the 3rd string quarterback and his name's not Brock Purdy, who we'll talk about at the very end of this video, I think we should be very hesitant to get excited about anybody for the Baltimore Ravens. And going over to Pittsburgh, and we're going to have to obviously monitor the Kenny Pickett concussion. But right now with Trubisky coming in, it's difficult to say that there's going to be too many impacts here. It goes from bad quarterback play to slightly worse quarterback play. Not too much to discuss. You have Deontay Johnson, 8 targets. George Pickens with only 3, but of course, George Pickens is hyper efficient with his 3 targets compared to Deontay Johnson. Not much to talk about at all with Pittsburgh. But going over to Cincinnati, I almost laughed this morning in the live stream. We had someone saying, hey, Mason, T. Higgins is questionable. I kind of have some PTSD here. Last time we played T. Higgins, and he literally did not play at all against the Baltimore Ravens. I said, why the hell would you expect that to happen? That was a one-off thing. Never worry about T. Higgins being active and then sitting out the entire game again. That's exactly what happened. T. Higgins played one snap. T. Higgins played one snap, ran one route, and this is in a game where Tyler Boyd is dealing with the finger injury. Tyler Boyd plays 2 snaps. I mean, I played T. Higgins in God knows how many leagues. And now if we're looking at any impacts that we have going forward, you still got to play T. Higgins when he's active. You got to play T. Higgins when he's healthy. I mean, if Tyler Boyd's removed from this offense, if Hayden Hurst is removed from this offense, I don't know if we can be too excited about anybody not named Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. We know that the depth at the wide receiver position's not really there for the Cincinnati Bengals, so it's not like we're running to the waiver wire to pick up anybody here. And looking at the running back usage with the Cincinnati Bengals, I know a lot of people are going to be screaming, oh, Samaje Perine played a ton of snaps. Samaje Perine ran a ton of routes. Not too worried about what you had with Joe Mixon. Mixon had 14 carries. Mixon had multiple targets as well. Now going over to Cleveland, looks like Deshaun Watson's still not back. Looks like Deshaun Watson with 42 pass attempts, only 276 passing yards, really leans on Donovan Peoples-Jones in this contest. Like Donovan Peoples-Jones, of course, is the fully healthy wide receiver. Amari Cooper is a little banged up here, but that's not a good enough excuse to just say, oh, Amari can fail easily. No. Amari doesn't do much, but what we do really see is not only Donovan Peoples-Jones dominating targets, but David Njoku, his first week back and healthy, looking very good. David Njoku, 9 targets, 7 receptions. He's the guy that comes away with the receiving touchdown as well. So I think you can be excited about Njoku, excited about Donovan Peoples-Jones. You're still starting Amari Cooper going forward. And then in reference to the running backs, I mean, I know we want to sit here and cry about Nick Chubb not performing well. The game environment was never in favor of Nick Chubb. I mean, I can't even sit here and say, oh, okay, well, we knew this was going to happen with Nick Chubb. No, I like the Nick Chubb player prop. I think it was 71.5 rushing yards against the Cincinnati Bengals here. Sometimes these studs are just going to disappoint. But going over to the New York Jets, looks like Bam Knight, officially the starting running back for the Jets going forward. Looks like you can actually start Bam Knight. I wasn't too excited about it. Looking at the implied team total for the Jets, Las Vegas sportsbooks were telling us that the Buffalo Bills were going to roll them. I didn't really want to play too many Jets not named Garrett Wilson. I mean, Michael Carter actually played more snaps, but Bam Knight had 17 carries compared to Michael Carter at 5. And if you're looking at the usage as a pass catcher, Bam Knight had multiple receptions as well. It's not like he's a complete zero there. Now, one thing that's going to be a big takeaway, we'll talk about this a little bit more in our waiver wire wide receiver video. I think you could actually go through and pick up Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore had 10 targets. Elijah Moore, this is the first week we've had in a while where he's out there running pretty much every route. He ran 47 routes compared to Garrett Wilson at 51. You had Corey Davis going down, but I mean, you actually had Denzel Mims playing the Corey Davis role. It's more so that Elijah Moore is just getting more usage in the slot. So Elijah Moore is once again looking viable for the New York Jets. You still have Garrett Wilson easily as the wide receiver 1 here. Now, going over to the Buffalo side of things, something else that was just very frustrating and one of the worst weeks ever. I mean, now you have this turning back into being a 3-man running back by committee for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, you're looking at Nyheim Hines, James Cook, and Devin Singletary all getting involved. Singletary leads the backfield with 29 snaps. James Cook is 24. Nyheim Hines sees 10, which is more than we've seen from Hines all season now. I mean, if you're looking at it, Singletary, 8 carries, 4 carries for James Cook, 1 for Nyheim Hines. I mean, they all get a target out of the backfield at least. So if it's a 3-man running back by committee, you can't be excited about any of the running backs that we are going to have here in Buffalo. But going over to Philadelphia, I think we can safely say this Philadelphia Eagles offense is arguably one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the NFL. They get it done by running. They get it done by throwing. I mean, with Philly, they can do it all just dependent on the game environment here. I think that you should be probably starting every Philadelphia Eagle you can get your hands on. You start Smith, you start Brown, you start Sanders, you start Hurts every single week. What the hell am I supposed to say other than that? But going over to the Giants side of things, one other thing that was extremely frustrating is we had some people in the live stream Sunday morning rightfully saying, Mason, you know what? Pretty worried about Saquon Barkley here. Saquon Barkley dealing with the neck injury. Should I play him or Jamal Williams? Should we go through and play Saquon Barkley or running back X? I thought there was no reason to be concerned with Saquon Barkley. I thought once Barkley was active, you had to go through and play him. He was Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley plays fewer snaps than Gary Brightwell and Matt Breida in this game. I don't know how much this is to do with the fact that obviously he was limited, game time decision coming into the week, and most importantly, the Philadelphia Eagles boat raced the New York Giants. I wonder what the usage between these running backs would have been if this was actually a competitive game, because I just feel so damn bad for telling people to play Saquon Barkley when he literally played as the running back 3 in this offense for the New York Giants this week. But going over to Jacksonville, someone else we said to play over and over again, the worst week ever, Travis Etienne. With Travis Etienne, I thought this was a better matchup than a lot of people were saying. And with Travis Etienne, I thought he was going to operate on all 3 downs. Both things happened. The Jacksonville Jaguars crushed Trevor Lawrence, 368 passing yards. Travis Etienne plays 54 snaps compared to JaMychal Hasty at 18. So the matchup wasn't as tough as people thought it was. And he was a 3-down running back. Does it matter? Nope. Travis Etienne with his 17 carries gets you a measly 32 rushing yards. Travis Etienne, whose entire selling point is that he's some phenomenal passing down running back, in a game where you have a whopping 42 pass attempts for Trevor Lawrence, 30 completions, Etienne draws 0 targets. I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry. We're going to have to reevaluate this situation. I mean, looking at Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, dominating with targets, 12 targets, 15 targets. I mean, Evan Ingram giving you 11 receptions, 162 receiving yards, and multiple receiving touchdowns. Kudos to everybody who started Evan Ingram this week. I am very happy for you. But going over to the Chiefs, interesting game. I will say that, to say the least. With the Kansas City Chiefs side of things, not too many takeaways other than Juju Smith-Schuster's getting an alpha wide receiver 1 target share. If you're looking at Juju, he has 11 targets compared to, Marquez Valdez-Scantling at 3, Sky Moore at 2, Justin Watson at 2. So if we're looking at wide receivers in Kansas City, you have Juju Smith-Schuster with 11 and all other wide receivers at 7. But now keep in mind, Jerick McKinnon comes out here. Jerick McKinnon dominates with 9 targets, over 100 receiving yards. And I think that is something to get excited about. Frustrating, obviously, if you started Isaiah Pacheco. I don't know if we can tell anybody to start Jerick McKinnon anymore, but I think what we can say is, probably a pretty good spot if you are in a best ball league. If you're in a best ball league and you drafted Jerick McKinnon a couple months ago, you should be happy. Going over the Denver Broncos side of things, obviously Russ going out with the concussion. Mike Boone gets injured as well. Looked like it was going to be a running back by committee until Mike Boone goes down with the ankle injury. It's still somewhat a running back by committee where you get Marlon Mack involved at the end. It is what it is. But the main takeaway is, with Jerry Jeudy, you play him every week. You have no Courtland Sutton. We've been saying it all week that you weren't excited about playing Jerry Jeudy, but you kind of had to. If you have no Sutton, Hamler, Patrick, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me say it by now. Jerry Jeudy is probably someone you have to go through and play just because he's going to get the raw amount of targets. The man saw 9 targets this week, and he dominated with them. 8 receptions, 73 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Y'all know I was on the train Jerry Jeudy over Courtland Sutton. I was the only guy on that train this offseason. I will flex on y'all for that. It is okay. It's not like any team who drafted Jerry Jeudy's doing well regardless. But now going down to our next spot, let's go over to Carolina, where it looks like this is also turning into a 3-man running back by committee. I know you get a lot of running back points here. You have multiple touchdowns for running backs. You have a whopping almost 200 total yards for these running backs in the Carolina Panthers offense, if not 200 total yards. But if you're getting, Chuba Hubbard, if you're getting Deontay Foreman and Raheem Blackshear, all with snaps, all with the reasonable workload, and nobody's going to be viable in Carolina going forward. Sam Darnold looked okay. If you're just looking at the raw amount of points that Carolina was able to put up, the fact that they were able to effectively move the ball down the field with the run, but I still don't want to act like it's that exciting just given the fact that it's a horrendous offense and a 3-man committee. Going over to Seattle, I did not want to start Travis Homer. We told everybody, if you could, bench Travis Homer coming into this week. If you looked at everything with Homer, we said you had to be right that DJ Dallas and Kenneth Walker were going to miss. Not only did you have to be right with that, but at the same time, you had to be right that Travis Homer was going to be getting the workload And on top of that, you had to be right that Travis Homer was going to excel with that workload. Well, you got 2 of those 3 right. And Travis Homer had the workload. Travis Homer played pretty much every single snap. Homer played 49 out of 54 snaps. If you would have told me that before, this game, if you would have told me that Sunday morning, I would have told everybody to play him. But he doesn't really do anything with it. They don't necessarily give him a chance to. He only has 9 carries, but still, you were never expecting him to have a ton of volume. And he's supposed to be some phenomenal passing down running back. He only has 3 targets. The lesson learned is, if Kenneth Walker's not in the game, you don't start a running back for the Seattle Seahawks. If Kenneth Walker's not in there, don't start a running back for Seattle. And they need Walker back quick. Now, going over to our next game, let's look at San Francisco, where you have Brock Purdy coming out here telling us, don't get it twisted. Jimmy Garoppolo's not good. Don't think otherwise. Jimmy Garoppolo has been with one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the NFL for years now. He's had phenomenal skill positional guys. He's been playing behind a great offensive line. Anybody can do it. And Brock Purdy comes through. The man with 21 pass attempts, 185 passing yards, multiple passing touchdowns, comes away with a rushing touchdown. Game's 35 zip at some point. Like, Brock Purdy coming out and just absolutely crushing. I keep on saying, it seems hard for Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and CMC to all get there on a weekly basis, given how many cooks are in the kitchen. But the 49ers continue to put 35 points up a game. If they're going to continue to score 5 touchdowns a game, maybe it's all going to work out. Of course, you get Debo Samuel injured, which kind of propels Brandon Ayuk later in the day. But going over to the Tampa side of things, all we learn is the same thing we've learned for weeks, the same thing we've learned for months. You can't start a single player against the 49ers defense. After what we saw with the 49ers against Tampa this week, compared to what you had with the Dallas Cowboys against Houston, I think we can safely say that the 49ers have the best defense in the NFL. I think that's a safe statement at this point, and we should be avoiding every single player going against them. This is the most painful thing for me to ever say because, hell, if you look at who the 49ers are playing for the Fantasy Football Championship, they're going up against our guy, Josh Jacobs. Now, this next week, they have the Seattle Seahawks. So instead of ranking Lockett and DK Metcalf as low in wide receiver 1s, high in wide receiver 2s, we're probably going to have them as low in wide receiver 2s. Same thing, our guy, Kenneth Walker, our second most drafted running back. Why the hell do our guys have to go up against the 49ers 2 out of the 3 weeks in the fantasy football playoffs? Dear God. But I think that should be about it. I'm going to send up a prayer that somehow, some way, Jalen Waddle gets us to have a decent week this week, but I'm assuming that is not going to happen. Y'all are probably going to be laughing at me in the comment section when it didn't happen tonight. But anyway, thank you so much for being a member of the vlog. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm sad that I was a little pissy boy this video, but it seemed like we just got every single thing possibly wrong. All my teams crashed and burned. But I think that's all I got for you again. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go down there, drop a like. If you want to check out any of these player props, you can find the link in the comment section in the description. Promo code FLOCK, 100% deposit match. My favorite player prop for Monday night is going to be James Conner plus 31.5 total yards compared to Ramondre Stevenson. Now, obviously, you would rather have Ramondre Stevenson straight up, but we're getting 31.5 total yards. Find the link in the comment section, description, available in damn near every state. Promo code FLOCK, 100% deposit match. But thank you again. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great day, and hope we get to see you with the live stream Monday night.